Thank you for staying for the news. Let's start with our first story. Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah says he disagrees with the United States travel advisory alert on LGBTQI travelers. Now, the U.S. government last week updated its travel advisory alert after its ambassador, Virginia Palmer, warned of a possible blacklisting and ban on Ghanaian business dealings if the anti-LGBTQI plus was passed in its present form. Now, speaking to the media in Accra, Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah insisted Ghana was a sovereign nation and that it would stick to its position on such matters.
Honorable, the U.S. Embassy has upgraded Ghana. According to them, we have laws that push us to the person LGBT. Are you worried about that?
We disagree with them on that. Is there any other question?
We are a sovereign nation. What are we doing to that?
We disagree with them on that. We'll continue with what we believe is our governance principles.
Now, the Cybersecurity Authority says it is unable to investigate and successfully prosecute many of the reported cyber attacks, including child pornography, cyberbullying, and sextortion, among others, due to its inability to track and identify the associated sources. Director General of the Cybersecurity Authority, Dr. Albert Ntwibwesiako, speaking at the press launch of the Global Conference on Cyber Capacity Building in Accra, said the authority was moving heavily to awareness creation and education to deal with the existent gap.
Currently, the law criminalizes extortion, which, as a journalist, you know, that's the most rampant form of what? Cyber attack targeting our teenagers. And we have evidence of that provision being used to prosecute people who have caused harm to some of our young people. So that is just the legislative standpoint, and I think that was crucial. To deal with this from the criminal justice standpoint, you need a law. We have done that. You won't find many African countries having that. Again, in context. But I have also mentioned that even, and my colleagues are here, I wish them to admit to that, even the wealthy countries, Chris, you've been a prosecutor of a U.S. government. Now, cybercrime cases, not even the wealthy countries like Chris' country, can successfully investigate, prosecute, and adjudicate more than 10% of cases that are reported. Let's say if you take our national set, almost every attempted attack or successful attack, sometimes tracing becomes almost impossible. Even when you trace, attribution becomes almost impossible. In other words, what I'm saying is, it is extremely difficult to just target investigating and prosecutions. Awareness creation becomes the most important tool to reduce this. And I think the authority, what we are targeting is, if we are able to, and I want to situate the same example to Momo fraud, if we are able to educate the public, educate extensively, that means it has to go beyond Joy FM discussions or assassin, but going to, because Momo is everywhere, isn't it? If we are able to go to every part of the country to raise awareness that some of these schemes are socially engineered, we're likely to prevent 75% of Momo cases. Then you allow law enforcement to handle about 25%, and even you give them a target. Out of the 25%, if they can successfully investigate and prosecute 5% of that, that is a major success. I think we need to understand cybercrime is not like a traditional crime.
In our next story, the country director for non-governmental organization ActionAid Ghana, John Nkwo, is asking development partners to prioritize provision of infrastructure and furniture for basic schools in the country. He observes that this will enhance academic work. Now, Mr. Nkwo made this statement at Konchiri, where ActionAid Ghana donated 147 wooden and metal desks to pupils of Konchiri Basic School. Here's Rafiq Salam's report.
One major challenge faced by basic schools across the country is the issue of inadequate furniture. Available statistics from the Ministry of Education estimated the number of basic school pupils without dual desks in the country pegged around 2.2 million. Narrowing the figures to the Jiriba municipality, Jiriba Municipal Director of the Ghana Education Service, Hudu Alkali Kunate, said the municipality has a furniture deficit of 10,000. The situation is Araba West at Mankuru Konchuri that has 133 pupils who are sharing less than 30 benches.
So we have a deficit of about 10,000 sitting places in our municipality, which we are struggling with in almost all the schools. And I want to come to Konchuri itself. We have 133 pupils in the school here. 133. And it will also introduce to Mr. Chairman that we are also sharing these 133 kids are also sharing less than 30 benches. That was actually bequeathed to the school by Reverend Beradik some 13 years ago.
Concerned about the plight of the pupils, ActionAid Ghana, a non-governmental organization, came to their aid and donated a total of 147 wooden and metal furniture to the school. In addition, 2,000 school bags are also procured for onward distribution to pupils in 32 communities across the Jiriba municipality. ActionAid Country Director for Ghana, John Nkao, used the opportunity to call on development stakeholders to prioritize the provision of infrastructure and furniture at schools to aid in effective teaching and learning.
The furniture will benefit the classes from the KG level to the junior high school level to aid in effective teaching and learning and contribute towards improving learning outcomes. It is gratifying, ladies and gentlemen, to note that the furniture will benefit about 212 pupils in the school, and that will go a very long way in addressing the furniture gaps of the school. And we take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to continue to call on our development stakeholders to prioritize the provision of furniture and school infrastructure across the country. We call on government in this regard to continue to do what it has been doing to enhance educational development in Ghana, particularly with the provision and enhancement of educational infrastructure and also the provision of furniture across many schools.
Now, the Bono Regional Executive Secretary of the National Peace Council, Suala Abdallah Kwanda, has re-echoed the need for political parties to refrain from using religion in political campaigns as the 2024 general election draws near. He states that religion is a deeply personal and sacred aspect of every individual's life, and exploiting it for political gain is not only unethical, but also destructive to the societal fabric. Mr. Kwanda spoke at a forum on religious, political, and socio-cultural tolerance to mark the International Day for Tolerance held at Wenchi in the Bono region. Nesta Kafui Ajoma has more in this report.
Mr. Kwanda said integrating religious rhetoric into political campaigns creates divisions among communities, fosters hostility, and hinders the progress of the nation.
The integration of religious rhetoric into political campaigns creates divisions among communities, fosters hostility, and hinders the progress of our nation. Political leaders and aspirants must use the power they hold to share public opinion in a matter that fosters national harmony and development. It is imperative that they promote tolerance, respect for one another's beliefs, and focus on their shared values and unite us as a people.
The Bono Regional Secretary of the National Peace Council urged every Ghanaian to be champions of tolerance.
The Bono Regional Peace Council decided to organize this program by bringing stakeholders from religious leaders, both Muslims and Christians, traditional authorities, political parties, and civil society organizations, for us to discuss and have a forum on how do we deepen the already existing, especially good relationship between Muslims and Christians in Ghana through tolerance. So it's a public education on tolerance for people to appreciate diversity and then understand that differences exist, and they exist naturally. Whether we like it or not, they are there. And then what is important for us is to manage these differences in such a way that it does not become a problem, it does not degenerate into violent conflict, and it does not create animosity, hatred among ourselves. And to ensure that we use these differences as a yardstick to make sure that we have sustainable peace. Because it is only with sustainable peace that Ghana can enjoy prosperity. It is only with sustainable peace that we can have sustainable development.
The Wenchi Municipal Chief Executive Alexander Obodamwa called on the people of Wenchi to support the Peace Council towards achieving peace through tolerance.
Nanachem, let me again affirm the confidence you repose in the Peace Council and hope to count on the unflinching support and cooperation of members and all gathered here, that collectively we will work towards the achievement of peace we all yearn for.
In our next story, the Ghana Grid Company Limited has successfully completed a rehabilitation project for the Eswei community in the Tichima North District of the Bono East region. The initiative, according to the Chief Executive Officer of GridCo, Engineer Ebenezer Kofi Esienyi, is part of the company's corporate social responsibility commitment that focuses on educational support for the communities where it operates. Anas Abed now reports.
Education has always proven to be a very important tool for development in any country. In Ghana, however, even though successive governments have taken steps to ensure the realizations of quality education, there still is a lot of work to be done, particularly in rural communities where basic facilities to access education for children are in poor and deplorable states. Here in the Eswei community, basic school pupils at the kindergarten level have for decades studied under these dilapidated classroom structures, which continuously pose as a death trap for these pupils, thereby impeding effective teaching and learning. The attention of the Ghana Grid Company was, however, drawn to this unfortunate situation, and within a period of 8 weeks, the company, as part of its corporate social responsibility commitment that focuses on educational support for communities where it operates, stepped in to change the fiscal outlook of the school's kindergarten block. Engineer Ebenezer Kofi Esienyi is the Chief Executive Officer of GridCo.
When our attention was drawn to the condition of the Eswei school building, it became evident to us that the structure was not too appropriate for our little children, whose protection and future must be our priority. In recognition of this, people took advantage of its 15th anniversary of operations to renovate this school building, and by providing these classrooms, we are investing in the educational and developmental journey of the young minds of Eswei.
Engineer Ebenezer Kofi Esienyi further highlighted that the rehabilitation project, which is part of GridCo's 15th anniversary celebrations, also aligns with the Goal 4 of the Sustainable Development Goals, which focuses on quality education for all.
The Education Support Initiative also aligns with the Sustainable Development Goal SDG, Goal 4, which ensures inclusive and equitable quality education and promotes long life learning opportunities for all.
Headmaster of the school, Raymond Gamo, was full of gratitude to GridCo for the gesture and assured that the facility would be put to good use to help improve basic education across the area.
In fact, we are so much overwhelmed, delighted, and extremely grateful for this unprecedented corporate and social responsibility by GridCo, and wish to assure you that the facility will be properly maintained and put to good use for its real purpose.
District Director of Education Mrs. Teresa Akpebu, on her part, noted that the move by GridCo will in diverse ways alleviate the difficulties pupils in the area go through in their quest to seek educational knowledge.
I must confess, it's a wonderful edifice that we have here. And it will go a long way to add more value to the lives of our children. because they don't have a classroom where they can sit down and learn. And when they have classroom, they sit down and they learn better than those sitting under trees. So this project that we have today has come to help alleviate some suffering that our peoples had gone through some time ago.
GRIDCO anticipates positive outcomes from this support, emphasizing its commitment to fulfilling Ghana's power transmission needs while actively contributing to the country's educational development and sustainable practices. Anas Sabit, Joy News, Asue in the Techiman North District.
That is the note on which we cap off the news this morning. But stay with us in a few minutes. We hit you with the news review as we get you the latest in the world of the newspapers.